It's been pretty life-changing since doing foundation. I took foundation a year ago and it changed my life, and then I did it again and it changed it even more. And so it just keeps expanding and getting greater every day. I really was at a place in my life where I saw a lot of change happening, and I knew that it was possible, but I had so much holding me back, like all those annoying beliefs and points of views holding me back. And I was just like, I need something to just heavy duty get me through this, like major clearing, major tools, lots of like intensity with it, where it just like stops me in my tracks and really makes me get present, because I was like, I'm sick of this bullshit and I'm really, really bored with where I'm at, with how I'm self-sabotaging myself all the time. And so I actually just ended up looking probably half of a week or maybe a week before Glenese's foundation class, and I just searched any foundation classes that would be in the time zone that would work for me. And as soon as I saw Glenese, I'm like, yep, hook me up. And I told my sister about it right away, and we just made it happen. I was actually scheduled to be working, and I'm like, I'm booking it. I don't care how it's going to work. Someone's going to trade me, or I'm just going to be able to take it off. I don't care how it shows up, but it's happening. And it did. So it was amazing. What inspired me to take foundation with Glenese is that I actually first heard about her when I took Talk to the Entities I took in Fort Lake, Saskatchewan. And some of the gals there mentioned Glenese Hughes, and they just adored her. They loved her. And so the name kind of stuck in my head, and then months had gone by, and I don't know, she popped up, and I listened to some of her podcasts, and I just honestly fell in love with her, and it's like her touch of magic, how she focuses on magic. And that's me. Like, I believe in magic, and I want to invite magic into my everyday. And there was just something, like, there's a sparkle in her eye that just resonated with me. And I knew when I saw her, like, and I felt comfortable around her, and she just seemed really genuine and really authentic. And so when I imagined 4 days with her, because you look through the different facilitators, and I was like, oh, maybe let's just see. I watched a few videos of different facilitators that were offering access, and I listened to her, and I was like, I don't even know why I'm wasting my time listening to anyone else right now, because she's my gal, and that is who I want to take it from. And I've never regretted it. Like, spending 4 days with her was so magical, and she is just so incredible at what she does. And she has a way of being allowance of everyone. Like, there was moments where I would be like, oh, I would have not said that or not known how to be in that situation. And she just did it so gracefully and made everyone feel so welcome, and just, yeah, just that total allowance for you, where it's okay to be you, it's okay to be me, and it's okay that you're choosing what you're choosing, and had such a gentle way of inviting you to look at things another way. Like, she's amazing. My life before foundation was truly a different way of being. And I took a foundation class last July from another Access Consciousness facilitator, Crystal Crawford. And I honestly didn't know what to expect, but it just popped up in our life. And I had taken the bars in 2015 and just kept taking it like a junkie, because I loved it. There was something there. There was something so inviting. Like, I didn't understand it. I couldn't put words to it, but there was something that I had never seen before. It was like a new set of eyes. And then me and my sister heard about this foundation, and it just showed up. And so, like, as if by magic, you know. And so I've taken it twice now, and each time I've taken it, it has really, like, helped me chip away at literally my foundation, like where I've been functioning from, who I've been, what I have done to hide who I am. And I'm going to cry because it's given me. Like, it's given me back me that I didn't even know was missing. I didn't even know I wasn't there. And it just blew my mind to just be like, these things are so simple. And they're like things that everybody should know. And we just have never been told this. We've never been given permission to just be and to choose for us because it's what makes us happy. Like, we're so focused on worrying about what other people think, about doing the right thing, about not being wrong, about not standing out or making a mistake. And it's like, who cares about any of that? Like, if you really can just take all of that away, it's like this silence. Like, it's like this just calm, present being. And it's like I love to think of it. It's like being in the Matrix, like the movie The Matrix, how they just stop in time. And it's like this energy shows up and it's like, no thanks. And then this other energy shows up and it's like, no thanks. I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. It's like that. I will have more of that. And then you just start to recognize when these energies show up in your life that they aren't even yours, but you just made them so real to be yours. And it's like when you play with it and you use the tools, you see that it's a choice and it's so much easier than you think it is. And so that foundation is just like, it's such a like 4 days of like just an intense way of looking at your life and just be like, is it working? Is it working the way that you have been functioning? And if not, what else would you like to choose? And it's that simple. My life now, since taking foundation, is honestly, I feel like I'm in the game of life. Like, I really feel like I am in a game of life where it's like you're the detective and you just get to look at what is going on all the time and you get to choose if you like it or not. It's like so much simpler. And it's truly, I feel like I can now just follow that magical energy trail and not having to know what that's going to look like, how it's going to show up. And I've learned to stop myself in my tracks so much faster using all the tools and be like, okay, what is this? What is this? Like, really, what is this that's going on? Like, all of a sudden I felt happy and now I feel heavy and anxious and scared and angry and all these things. And it's like, I've really been focusing on how much I distract myself all the time. And it's like, okay, so now I'm like, okay, am I distracting myself with this? Am I distracting myself with this? And if I didn't have to, what else could I truly choose? And it's so much fun and it's so much lightness and it's like a true adventure. Like, I get to feel excited and I get to feel enthusiastic every day. And I know that if I'm choosing heaviness or I'm choosing anger or yuck or whatever emotion that I feel like choosing, that's okay too. And it's about just being in total allowance of myself. I've been so much nicer to myself, so much gentler on myself. And I just, like, there's no turning back. I will never turn back to this way of being, even though it can feel really scary sometimes because you are going against what most people do. Like, you're past that, like, mediocrity, and it can feel really uncomfortable and people can really make you question yourself and really make you think you're doing something wrong, something bad. And then it's like, no, what is this? And it's just like, keep using the tools, keep hammering on them and practicing. And it's like, oh yeah. And it's like just an instant like poof where it's like, I'll have more of that. It's so much easier. So much easier. I've never felt the way that I feel now in my entire life. I've never since foundation. I didn't know what was possible. I didn't even know what I didn't know. Like, I didn't know I didn't have permission. I didn't know I was not being me. Like, you think you know who you are, and then you just get like all these things and like come into your world and makes you just look at everything so different. And I'm a brand new me. I'm more of me. Like I didn't know you could just feel happy all the time. And I didn't know it was okay if you didn't want to. I didn't know it was okay to feel angry or to yell or to cry, like all the wrongnesses that I've ever felt about myself are now such strengths and like superpowers that I never looked at it that way. And it's such a gift. It's such a gift. And I just wish everybody could have this. And I realize that isn't my job and that not everyone wants it. But for anyone out there who even has that little niggling thought in their mind, like I just invite anyone to step up and try something totally wild and crazy and different, because you will never regret it, ever. What inspired me to choose foundation for the second time was that I knew how much it changed everything. I actually, the first time that I took foundation, without even knowing what was going to happen, like everything changed. And then you get on with the way of life, and you know these tools that you should be using, you know that they help, but you have all your stories and all your excuses and all these things that are keeping you busy, like all the distractor implants. And I was very aware that I was doing that. And so I knew that by taking another foundation class, it's like a huge reset button where it's like it just really snaps you back into the present moment. And it's like, what can I choose to be? Like, how can I be in life? Because all of this stuff that I'm doing is getting really, really friggin' annoying and really boring. And I want to do something else. And I just knew that foundation was that thing for me. I knew that it would take me to the place that I needed to be, like, now. Like, and it can happen, you can use the tools and it can happen over time, but we have so many things in our life that we choose to distract ourselves with, that I knew for me what I needed was a big old wham bam, thank you ma'am, reset, and set me back on the path that I was heading on, which is total freedom. Favorite foundation moment. There are so many. But I think just right now, with this foundation and for where I'm at in my life right now, probably the biggest like aha moment that I have gained from it is the distractions that we use in our life. Like for me right now, I can see, it's like I can step outside of my body and I can look at where I'm just like busy over here and I'm busy over there and I'm busy freaking out here and I'm in this little hamster wheel over there, and I'm like just repeating these, like a dog chasing its tail, running around in circles. And it's like, that is a choice and sometimes it works, but it like I've really been like, pull out of that and just take a look at what you're doing. And it's like, is that working? Is it truly? And it's like, oh my God, I don't want that anymore. Like, because it's just going to take me like hours, days, months of being hung up on this thing as a choice. Or I could just step right out of it and be like, interesting point of view, that I have that point of view, like truly, and just be like, what else can I choose? If I could like focus on me now and I could choose what I truly desire and I didn't have to go into all those distractions, what else would be possible right here, right now? I don't know if there is anything Glenise could have done differently. Like, it was online, so that was totally different. But I also had my twin sister take it with me, so we had each other to do bars on and some of the healing. Honestly, I don't think so. Like, I really don't think there's anything that she could have done. Like, not right now. Like, nothing comes to mind. She wowed me to no end on her. Like, you can tell that she's been doing foundation for a long time because she's really, really good at what she does. And even if there was areas that weren't as familiar for her, that she didn't have personal experience with. She wasn't afraid to say that and just be like, I can't really speak to it, and she was honest about it, and I really appreciated that. So, I like that she didn't just say just because that's what you're supposed to do. Like that drives me crazy when people they don't know, and they don't know, and they're like, no, this is what Gary said or whatever. She didn't do that. She's like, I'm not here to like validate you, and I'm not here to tell you that what you're doing is right or wrong. This is the information I have, and what you do with it is up to you. So no, she's great. If I had the choice to take foundation again, I will probably continue taking it for the rest of my life, because it's such a contribution to my life. And like, from having different facilitators and their different ways of being and their different examples, and even like what I learned from the first foundation, from the second foundation, I was able to see things that I didn't see before. Like, you learn about a tool and you're like, I don't really get it. Like, yeah, that's cool, but I don't really get it. And then you hear it again after you've been playing and you've been practicing and you've been living, and then you hear it again and you're like, oh my God, that's what that is. And it's so easy. And how could I not see that before? Like, truly, how didn't I see that? But you don't, because you've got so many blinders on, so many points of view, so many beliefs that you want to hang on to, and you're not ready to let go of them till you're ready to let go of them. So for that, I will continue to take foundation for the rest of my life. If somebody asked me about attending foundation, I would say that you are an absolute fool if you don't. And I know that a lot of what might stop people is the price of taking foundation. And that was what really maybe got me almost not to take it a year ago, was the price. So I was like, holy, that's pretty expensive. But every part of my being wanted it, needed it, had to have it now. And I really gained the value of the price on it, because it made me pay attention. It made me want to like soak up everything I was learning and being like, I'm doing this for me. Like, this is about me and an investment to my life. And it has changed my life in ways I can never explain. But I am not the same person. And each day I wake up a new person because of foundation and using the tools. Like, if you are ready for that thing, that ultimate change in your life that is gonna like light that fire under your ass to get you to do the things that you truly want to do and be the person that you truly want to be, foundation, it's the answer. It's your thing. So you should definitely check it out.